Hello everyone, welcome to TechWebDots. Today I am going to cover this last principle of solid design principle. And again, this is a very important principle which is one of them, and I will try to make it super easy for you, and this session especially for beginners. So let's move ahead. As I already told you earlier in my previous recorded videos, I have already covered all these principles in my one consolidated video, and the link of that video is given in the description. Okay, so you can check out the description for all the related videos. So what dependency inversion principle is? So under this principle, rules actually, not one. Okay, the very first one is a high level module should not depend upon low level modules, and both should depend upon abstractions. And the second one is abstraction should not depend upon details, but details should depend upon abstraction. Don't worry if these lines are not clear at this moment, but I will explain you in detail as we move ahead in the session. Okay, so the very basic meaning of inversion, if you go by dictionary, it means reversal, reverse, or turning around. But what we will say in terms of dependency inversion principle, so inversion means both layers should depend upon, or you can say depend upon, abstraction interfaces that expose the behavior needed by the higher level layer. Okay, now you must be thinking about what are the layers, what I am talking about. So let's understand by super simple example. So you can see this is again a UML convention that I used in my all previous notify as well to the user by sending the email notification. Okay, this is super simple scenario. Correct. So this dotted line says this user manager is dependent upon email notifier. Okay, so how it looks like when you will be having a user manager class, and for example you have a change password method in that, and you will be receiving first username, old password and new password. So what you will be doing, you will create a email notification or email notifier class object, and you will call the notify method, and you will send the user with notification detail password changed on at this time. Okay, but if you follow this way of doing, to solve such problem, then we have to face many problems, right? So what problems we can face? So first thing can be a email notifier must be available at the time of writing and testing the user manager. It means you have to write all the dependent one classes first to test this or to complete this user manager. Correct? You will agree with me on this. Or second problem can be you are forced to finish the low level classes. So in this scenario, we were talking about layers, right? We were talking about levels. So this is my high level class. We will say this user manager, it is doing the primary responsibility, the whole thing, or you can say very significant task my user manager class is performing, and my auxiliary task is performed by email notifier. Okay, so this is our high level class and this is our low level class. So we are forced to finish writing low level classes like notifier and before you code for high level classes. Correct? So this is again easy to understand what problems we can face if we don't follow the principle properly, right? And for example, in future you make some changes in the notification system, so you may require modifying the user manager class as well. For example, if you make some mandatory constructor, if you make some other changes in the class, so that can impact this user manager class as well. So that kind of consequences can also come if we go by such approach. Okay, so for example, you can think of instead of email notification the principal, we will face so many problems. So what can be the best solution according to dependency inversion principle, and we will understand by these two golden rules. Okay, so first, according to first rule, what we are thinking, the high level depend upon low level. So to solve such problem, DIP suggests we should depend upon abstraction. Okay, so this will be the new design which satisfy the dependency inversion principle, and this abstraction can be in the form of a base class or interface. Okay, now here we are using the interface, but now this class is dependent upon this interface but not on the low level classes, right? This is the first change that you will notice in this diagram, and this interface is implemented by all these three: email notifier, SMS notifier and pop-up notifier. For example, in future you also want to send some other ways of notification, so that can also be easily added. And you will see in this user manager constructor we are actually object, okay, which will be nothing but iNotifier instance, because this is implemented by all these three low level classes. So we have to pass the object of any of these classes, and that will work for this user manager to send the notification. Okay, so that's how it is satisfying this first rule. So my user manager class no longer uses email notifier directly first, right? And the constructor of user manager receives an instance of a class that implements iNotifier from the external world. Now think about the previous design. Previously, we were creating an instance in this user manager class itself, but now we are not creating that instance. We are not creating that dependency in user manager class to create the instance of email notifier. We are doing all these three things out of this class. So we are actually decoupling. The main advantage of dependency inversion principle is we are making the system loosely coupled, right? So if you decide to switch from email notifier to SMS notifier or pop-up notifier, so this decision wouldn't have any impact on the user manager class. Yes, and as you are supplying the dependency from outside, right? And don't worry, I will show you how the class will look like if we perform this dependency from outside. So thus the direction of dependency is reverse. That's why the name of this principle given is inversion. It is reverse after applying the DIP. So this is how we are satisfying the first part of dependency inversion principle. And let's move to second one. So here you should design the iNotifier interface abstraction. This is iNotifier abstraction by looking at the needs of user manager. So we have to implement it what is needed by this user manager, not by the email notification or SMS one, right? So whatever is needed by user manager, accordingly we have to decide what iNotifier interface will perform. So the iNotifier interface should not be designed while looking at the needs of email notifier, which we say details. Okay, so user manager class is totally unaware, right, of the exact iNotifier implementation that will send the notification. Thus a high level class, which is user manager, no longer depend upon lower level classes, which is email notifier, SMS notifier, or you can say pop-up notifier. I hope this is easy for you to understand, and now you understand the basic idea with in detail with example how dependency inversion principle works, right? So let's move ahead and let's see what are the other things that we can see in terms of class representation. So you can see this is my class, this is my iNotifier interface, right? And I am implementing an email notifier, SMS and pop-up notifier. Definitely you will provide your own implementation in all three classes, but this is how as a dummy implementation it will look like this, right? What will be the second thing? We have to provide the iNotifier to the main class, which is our user manager class. So we'll create a public property which is of iNotifier, and we will initialize this in the constructor of this user manager. We can also use the auto dependency resolver as well, but that is not the scope of this video, but we can, right? So we will provide the instance of any of the lower level classes with the help of this iNotifier interface, and in change password we can easily notify the user by sending the notification. So how we are resolving the dependency outside of all this? So you can put it into the in MVC pattern, you can put it into the service wherever you like. So how it will look like while we are resolving the dependency, we will create a iNotifier type variable, right? And on the basis of notification type, we will initialize it can contain the instance of its child classes, right? Or the lower level classes, email, SMS, and pop-up. And then we create the instance of this user manager, passing the notifier instance, and then we can simply call the user manager dot change password that will ultimately notify my user, right? I hope it is clear for you. If you have any question in this, you can drop me into the comment section. And because this is one of the way to satisfy the dependency inversion principle, there can be other ways. Like one of them I showcased in my previous consolidated video. But before that, adapter design pattern also implement dependency inversion principle. So the link of that one is also you will get in the description of this video. So implementing a repository layer between business and database layer, that can also be named as a dependency inversion principle example. So previously I explained this one where we have business logic, we have data access layer. Previously this is tightly coupled with the business layer, but after refactoring you will see we are creating a repository layer in between, which is ultimately if we are implementing in data access layer, and we are again passing the dependency in the constructor of business layer class and calling its method, right? So previous example was different. So at the end I will say dependency inversion can be applied wherever one class send a message to another one, right? And this principle encourages writing loosely coupled code to enhance readability, maintainability, and especially in terms of when we are working with complex code base. So these all are the advantages of dependency inversion principle. You must have observed that abstraction and polymorphism plays a very important role in all solid design principle, or we will say in the design pattern, right? So these are very important. And all well-structured object-oriented architecture have clearly defined layers that really help us to make the project manageable, with each layer providing some coherent set of services through a well-defined and controlled interface. Right. So this is it in this dependency inversion principle. Let me know if you like it or dislike it, and I will see you in the next video where we will discuss more tech concepts. Till then, take care. Bye bye, and don't forget to like and subscribe and provide your feedback. That's the only inspiration for me to create such videos. Bye bye.